We were asked to talk about our memories of Reinhard Schick, but we thought it would be quite boring if we'd only talk about our Reinhard Schick experience.
And so we tracked down some people whose lives he has influenced, and we interviewed them, so we will let them speak for us. His services to the English-speaking world in general, but to Britain in particular, are quite invaluable. I've always admired Reinhard Schick for his enthusiasm and his passion. I met him once in London, you know. I waved, but he didn't wave back. I suppose he didn't see me. He's a very busy man, after all.
Yes, I remember. We were walking through an apple orchard one night and an apple fell on my head. I was just annoyed by it at the time. But I remember that Reinhard asked, I wonder what force pulls that apple towards the earth, and why that same force doesn't pull the moon towards the earth. And as it is, it turned out that was quite an interesting question.
You know, many people actually doubt whether I existed at all, or whether my works were written by me. Now, about that second point, I can say some of it was actually written by Reinhard Schick. Actually, quite a lot of it. Actually, almost all of it. I mean, I never got my head around that language, you know, all that thou and thine stuff. I mean, it's beautiful and all, and I appreciate it, but Reinhard Schick, he just writes on a level that's above me.
I remember very clearly, I was on my way to Gettysburg and was working on my address. I just passed it to Reinhard and asked him what he thought about it, and he said, "Abram, honestly, I would change some of it." And he jotted down some suggestions on the back of an envelope, and to be honest, I think he did change the whole speech. But I must admit, it did turn out quite well.
I always admired Reinhard Schick's style. Yes, there aren't many men who would dare to wear, for example, a golden shirt. But, of course, he can do that with his looks. He is quite a gorgeous man. Quite gorgeous indeed.
Man, the 60s were some wild times there. I remember, I was standing in a bar next to him. I remember that there was something Nam, or then after the 100 civilians had been killed, and he was just like, he just said something, you know, how many rows, I mean, you know, like Reinhard Schick, you know, and he that kind of stuck me. I think he said something. I think I wrote.
We were sitting in the meeting to discuss the 2008 election campaign, and it was Reinhard who came up with the idea that we could use "Yes, we can" as a slogan. And I looked at him and I said, "Reinhard, are you sure?" Because at the time we wanted to go with "Let's see if we can make it." But I think it was his perseverance and his enthusiasm that really carried us through this campaign. So, thank you, Reinhard. Thank you, Reinhard Schick.
Thank you, Reinhard.
Thank you, Reinhard.
Thank you, Reinhard.
Thank you, Reinhard.
you, man. I was like, thank you, Reinhard.
Thank you, Mr. Schick.
And yes, I do remember my promise to you, Reinhard. Reinhard, I am your biatch.